Well, I will say one thing. I don't think I realised how prevalent eating disorders were. And like, are they number one or something?
For mortality rates?
Yeah. Like,
in Australia.
And
it's number one.
Number one.
Out of mental illnesses.
Out of mental illnesses for mortality. Wow.
Number one. It's above depression, it's above everything.
Holy shit.
And
yeah,
a lot of that is suicide. It's not necessarily
Yeah.
your body shutting down.
Like, yeah. Like not having enough. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. It's always the ones that you don't expect to be like the main.
Yeah, and it's fun because there's hardly any funding in it.
Really?
Yeah.
How have you concluded that, I guess? How do you,
I follow
Just
this
what?
recovery coach. She's great.
Yeah.
What Mia did next, she's like an advocate. I think she's like 7 years recovered as well, but she said she just, when she had it, she's in her late 30s now, and she said she thought she was going through it all alone. There was no one speaking about it on social media, or she didn't really go through social media when it was
Popping.
but she just didn't know anyone else experienced it and stuff. So she's full advocate now, and she really looks up all the facts. And this is the one who went off at Sarah Day.
I was going to say to tear that.
She calls out influencers who are just like
Who?
putting out dangerous messages and stuff. Just calls them out and says, no, these are the actual facts.
Yeah.
This is why it's dangerous.
I think she's a local influencer too, isn't she? The problematic one.
Yeah.
I think you pointed her out
I don't
at
know
Blackwood that time.
I don't know if Sarah's Day, if you're familiar with her.
Nah.
I was chatting to Maddie about this quite in depth because she's a local and she's got like over 1 million followers, and
Wow.
but it's pretty fucked. She's just put out a new exercise book, fitness, diet, like one of those holistic things, and she's selling it as like a eating plan and a fitness thing and everything, but she doesn't have any qualifications and stuff, which is dangerous. And her main target, she released this campaign. She's like, do you ever stay up at night thinking about what you've eaten that day? Or it's all like triggering, it's all red flags that have to do with eating disorders. So that's the audience she's doing, like targeting. And it's just so dangerous.
Is this the same girl that you were saying who calls out a lot of?
No, this is the girl that she called out.
Okay, yeah. So I guess,
And she called her out, and
did you responsible?
after that, so many like younger girls were commenting on her page and saying, like, opening up and saying, this is really affecting me, I had an eating disorder, She just blocked them all.
That's one way of dealing with it.
That's one way. Turned off all comments words, blocked everyone who commented on anything. So then, well, because it just shows she's aware of it and she's profiting off it.
She could have taken, and like the video you showed me, she was pretty she's reaching out and saying, like, you can talk to me and we can change the way you market this, to like not make it offensive, simple as that. And if she took that step, no worries. She would have done fair enough, I didn't realise what I was doing. But it's
like she assumes she's right. It's just and just like doesn't want to hear, because you can have like bullshit criticism or like haters, but like if they're actual people are coming through talking about their own stories,
being vulnerable, not just, and they like actually pleading and saying like, please, this is gonna, this can send someone off the edge and stuff. Like some of them were like, I'm begging you, please take this off. Like, it's affecting my little sister. I've seen her read this, and she blocks them. Which is because you're hoping she's coming from the right place and she did it without knowing, but the fact she's turning them off and it just no apology, nothing's just gone quiet and makes me think she knows what she's doing.
Like she should engage in a bit of a dialogue.
Like
if anyone, it doesn't matter who it is, if they're putting out something to help people or in their views going to help people, you got to be open to like criticism. Like you got to be open to being like, oh, you should do it this way. Like even something simple with like the yes means yes stuff for part of the piece. Someone, I won't say who, but like someone told me that they were talking to a friend, and like there wasn't like something simple as like a trigger warning. It's like yes, it's obviously a memoir of a sexual assault or harassment or abuse, but like they still need to get into a mind space that, okay, this is like, this is something, I know it's coming, this is similar to what's happened to me before, or something like that. So like something simple as just like listening to certain, because it's not always just criticism, it's just being like, please don't do that.
Yeah, or this is a good idea.
Because I mean, if in those comments were they saying you shouldn't do it like this and you should do it this way, were they like providing alternatives? Because like either way, it's still valid like criticism, but like were they even providing, being like, no, you should talk about it more like this, or you should gauge it in this way? Like,
I think a lot of like the advocates and stuff have spoken up on other ways to do it, but in the commenting it was more pleading to just take it down, that it's triggering and.
Which is fair.
It's just but it just shows how much it was affecting people. Like it was no hate comments. It was actually just saying like, for everyone's mental health, please take this down. And
now the hate comments will come.
Now they will come. That she's done nothing about it.
That's an unshout out. Another unshout out. We got so many non-shout outs. We shouted out the library so much in the last episode. It was actually so funny. We kept on.
Tara's like, we're talking about books.
This is why you want to do the podcast.
I walked out once and he's talking about his books. I'm like, trust.
Shout out books. They've fallen back in love. Much appreciated.
Good boy.
Have you ever had anyone speak about OCD?
No, that's a really good one. Because I think I even say to myself, if I'm doing something or whatever, it's just my OCD, or it's just OCD, but like I don't actually have it.
Like a throwaway term.
Yeah.
Like ADD, if you just like suddenly talk about something else, like, oh, it's my ADD. I'm like, no, it's not. Or depression, even though like I'm feeling a bit sad, and it's like, it gets thrown around too much, the word sometimes. It's a hard one because you want to start like, you want to talk about it more, but sometimes it's used in the wrong context. And it's played down like, oh, sorry, now I'm depressed today, not coming out.
It's like,
instead of I'm feeling blue or stressed.
If it's popularized or normalizing things is okay, but like if you generalize it so much, it just takes away from the people who deal with it to the extreme.
That's it.
So hey, if anyone has like OCD or any like conditions that I haven't or disorders that I haven't talked about, like message me. Like you need to have a broad scope of things and people to talk about. Like I had someone on for like disassociation and talking about that. I had no idea what that was. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I had another mate message me. I was like, hey, I'd like to come on and like have my own opinion about disassociation, how it affects me, how it works, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, sweet. And like, you know, I think that's, if you can get all sorts of perspectives on it, because how anxiety affects you is so different to how it can be different to how it affects Matt or me or
I can touch on OCD because that's you know how you're talking about control earlier, and a lot of it's a way of means of controlling stuff with eating disorders. My first way of grabbing some sort of control is back through OCD.
Right.
And this happened in year 10, so like 2 years before the eating disorder even came out in OCD, and it was some sort of almost like a hope that it's like a, I can't think of the actual word, but it's like
a strive or like is it perfection that you were kind of looking for?
Well, a lot of it was, I think a lot of people with perfectionism affects that sort of personality, but what it would, I remember if I didn't finish writing a sentence with a certain word, then I thought something bad was going to happen, but if I ended it with like if I ended my sentence in like letter E or something, it was going to be a good day. It's some sort of like weird control, but it started getting so bad that in my exams, like I would add an extra word at the end of the sentence because I was scared something bad was going to happen if I didn't. And then, in an exam.
Was it a word that was like that teachers told you to? Oh, you got to use this word.
No, it was random.
It's just like a random.
Yeah, I was like, Just this random thing. I was like, some sort of, you're like glimpsing onto bits of hope that things will be okay if I do this. And I would have to touch or turn off the lights a certain amount of times. Or I couldn't walk into a shop once, I'd have to walk into it twice and stuff, and I had to touch certain things and stuff.
Really?
And then I think it was during the exams though when it started affecting that. That's when I was like,
yeah, things like washing hands and stuff too.
Yeah. That's for sure. If I didn't wear my hair up that day or something, it's
even like superstition.
Yeah, I was saying it sort of ties into that a bit, I suppose.
Wow.
But I was like, I can control how the day is going to be if I touch this 3 times.
Yeah.
It sounds so weird saying it now, but you honestly truly believe it. And if I didn't get to finish it off the way I wanted to, just like go into hysteria or like just overwhelmed with, I had to like go home and I was like, I'd be terrified something would happen to my family or... It's
like a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is.
If you don't do it.
So that's the first thing I actually got help for.
Wow.
Do
you think it's similar? If I go drive somewhere and like I leave something in the car, like that's valuable or something like that, I would lock the car and then I'd walk off. I'm like, fuck, did I lock the car? And like I'm freaking out if I did. I don't know if that's similar, but I guess it's like
it's interesting
I can control so much.
The boundary, like, is that just anxiousness? Or
maybe it's just anxiousness, or it's like
I don't know. But is that
second guessing or something?
Is that just second guessing?
And I fucking hate it because I start thinking about it in the middle of something, and then it just takes me away for a moment, and I'm like, why do I feel so shit about this? Like I literally locked it. I pressed the lock and I tried to open the door.
It's my heat stroke now. I'm convinced I'm going to burn the house down every day, and I'm like, no, I turned it off. I plugged it out of the switch. I'm like, no.
You've got
I'm burning the house down. Like, it's so irrational.
I always work on it.
Literally.
I'm going to burn Matt down.
If anything happens, I'm right there.
I know. Yeah, but is that just second guessing yourself?
I think it's probably second guessing. I don't think it's like an OC thing. It's just like, like what's the difference, or like what's it classified as? Like, because I know the mind is intended to like keep you safe and stuff like that, but sometimes it can just be like so
be your worst
restricting.
Enemy.
So your worst enemy, and you just dumbass.
It's so strong.
It's just so frustrating sometimes. Like, even bloody, you probably notice I'm constantly moving this because I'm like, I'm looking at the sound wave, it's got to be perfect and stuff like that. But then this is where perspective can really come in. You step back and be like, okay, well, let me assess the situation. It's still recording, things are good, it's fine. I can go back and edit it.
That's it.
In post or post.
We'll just stop and say, okay, what's the worst case scenario?
Yeah.
And if that happens, how do I fix it?
Yeah.
You just got to stop for a second and say, okay, wait, let's just think about this. What's worst case scenario? What's best case scenario? And what's the solution for either time?
Then you overthink the fucking worst
but
case.
you're stressing about it anyway.
Yeah.
Just say, stop and say, wait, why am I stressing?
Ground.
The world's not going to blow up.
No, there's a solution to every single problem. It'll just take a bit of discomfort or something that you have to invest some time in or money, whatever. Just there's a fix for everything. It's just.
I agree with you. You don't want to stop and overthink everything, but if you find your mind just going, then
it's good to
just
shut up.
address it right there and then instead of letting it just spiral out of control.
Like, so many of these things are not going to happen. What is actually logically worst case, best case? But like the whole perspective thing too. Like I always think. Sometimes I think, if I have a particularly bad day at work. Which is, I don't know, there's probably 2 sides to the coin, but I was thinking, I'm an ape on a rock floating in bloody outer space. It doesn't fucking matter. But then I'm also like, well, if it doesn't matter, then what the fuck am I doing? And in this bloody project that I don't particularly like being in, but what am I, why?
That's me with the sea. When you go out there and you just look at the sea and you're like, wow, that is huge. I'm like a little seashell compared to this thing.
That's a good point.
You know what's a good what I really liked? Have you listened to Shameless podcast?
No, he recommended it. Yeah, shout out. First shout out.
They're really good. But
let me jump on then.
One of their they got it off. They mentioned it. It's just they want to be one of the hosts said she just wants to be a rock in a river, and some things she just wants to let the wave just wash over it. She just wants to be a little rock there and just let things that don't matter just like wash over.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to stop it or doesn't have to do anything about certain situations, but just
weight off shoulders.
Wash over. That's a weight off. She doesn't have to fix everything. Make everyone happy. Just let some things just wash over.
I love like metaphors like that, or just like analogies that you can kind of live by.
Well, even doing that, like even you go jump in the surf, like let the wave wash over, grab onto the sand. I like doing that. Yeah, like feel like an arrow. Or like you do the same.
An arrow.
No, an arrow. Oh.
Okay, grabbing onto the sand like an arrow.
All the best archers I know. Fire their arrows and see. Or even in a river or something. Yeah, hold on to a rock and actually like I don't know, let yourself. So let the water run over you. That's like the metaphor.
When you I find trouble with this when something stressful happens. If I'm getting ready for work or getting ready for something or whatever, and like something stressful happens, you can't find something or this blah blah blah, and it's like broad perspective, it's insignificant, but in the moment, like
it's the end of the world.
It's the end of the world, and I struggled with that for some time. I'm getting better at it. I think I had a moment last week where I was like, okay, it's all good. Like, let me just calm down. It's all good. Like, let me trace my steps. Let me look at this through a broad perspective instead of just freaking out like it's the end of the world. I think that's something that sometimes you struggle with as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you beat yourself up about it, and you're like,
because now the challenge is
but
see, that's the thing, because we all identify it, like in this podcast, and it's, I don't know, it's just remembering to apply it all the time. Not even letting it get to that panicky stage. It's like, all right, well, but it's sort of annoying. It's like, why can't I just do this every time? Why couldn't I just...
But I think just recognising what's happening is...
you
can't expect, just human, you can't expect yourself to not do it every time. Like,
that's
you're going to get this, you just like know where they're coming from. And then, you can sort of, you notice it. As long as you can call it out, I suppose. What's happening.
Because then everything else has lets you call it out. Okay, how do I
be
do
a bit kinder to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
You don't want to like invalidate.
Easy to say, but
it's so hard.
Well, that's it. You don't want to invalidate what you're feeling and stuff. But
but it is. Sometimes it is just be kind to yourself. It's probably all those sexual ones. Perspective. It's
kind to yourself, man.
Like,
but does that like tie into being like we were saying, being body neutral and being just like anxiety or just mental health neutral, not saying anything about it because you don't know how that person's feeling, and then not saying anything about someone's body because you don't know how they're feeling. Does that, like, I guess, would that tie in because you don't want to, is it something, I don't know how to put this, like in your own head, are you thinking, I don't want to be too positive, I don't want to be too negative, even just about a stressful situation that you're worrying about, and you're really freaking out, you're in panic mode, but you don't invalidate it, you don't want to be like, I should have done this, I should have done blah, blah, blah. You know you can't preempt everything. Like, is that something where you think people should stop being overly positive in their own space? We kind of touched on this before.
But you're right, it ties into a few more things. You're right, just just acknowledging what's happening, but you don't have to say, oh shit, this is what to avoid this next time, I've got to do this and that, and then not look in the past of what I could have done, or just such a stupid idea. Let me dwell on it for a few, just say, just accept what's happened. And
it's almost like I don't want you to address this, I just want you to listen, but you're saying it to yourself.
Just want yourself to listen to yourself.
We're getting really meta here.
Yeah.
Because we just talked about Zuck.
Yeah, it's good.
That's literally it. Thanks, bro.
That's what I struggle with though. I can't let go of some things in the past as well. I'll dwell on it and like, why did I do that? And just beating myself up.
Oh my god. Yeah. There's so many things I'm slowly letting go of that just like didn't work out. Like relationships in the past. I'm just like still footy. Yeah, footy as well.
Yeah. How do you try to let go of it?
I don't know. I think music helps, definitely. Like I try to let go by, I think the best thing to let go of certain things in the past is being like so excited for the future. So I'm in a place where I'm very excited for the future. I have a lot of things that I'm excited about, and I'm sit there and I'm like, okay, I'm really grateful for this right now. I'm really grateful to be excited about the next, what's happening next week, the next month, this next year, the next 5 years. Like, you don't have to plan everything out, but if you're just like, okay, I've got this to look forward to, I've got this to look forward to.
So more focused on the future than, what's happened.
Yeah, I guess that's better than being focused on the past, I guess.
Yeah.
Even like, I know this is applicable like to everyone, but even with music stuff, like, because I've been like recording like recently, and it's like I've got this song called Mollywood thing. Yeah, shout out. And I talk about like the whole trip that I went down to Mollywood at the start of 2020 before we went to New York.
Right.
And I was just kind of in a shit place. I just got fired from Melodies. Shout out Melodies. I felt like I was back to square one. I didn't know what I was doing career-wise. Didn't have any really like direction. I was working and everything, doing that, but like I didn't really have any direction. So I went down there and I just talk about the song, I guess, all the existentialism that was just revolving around me at that point. And like one thing I iterate throughout the song, or reiterate, whatever the saying is like, oh, I just want to let go, you know? And you shouldn't, suicide and thoughts of suicide shouldn't be the escape for, or like the end game for letting go. But that's, in my mind, sometimes that's what it was. If I just kind of kill myself, I would actually be able to let go of everything, you know? But what about everyone else? Like, they won't be able to let go of me, like, for some time. So, changing it from, I guess, long-winded way of saying, you just gotta focus on the future more than you do the past, and just look to be like, I really want to be excited 5 years time for this, in 1 year's time for this. Like,
see, mine's more, instead of looking at the future, mine's more the present one. Look how far I've come sometimes.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or time. A lot of my things were just able to go with time.
Yeah.
So
trust in time.
Yeah.
Trust in time. Yeah.
That's all words.
That's huge.
Yeah, I underestimate it, but yeah, a lot of it is.
But unfortunately, that's just what it takes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just gotta live with it until one day you don't think about it anymore.
But I mean, a lot of people is just by talking about it as well.
Yeah, just getting it out.
The more you talk about it, the more you see it in perspective. And
yeah. And you realise you're not that crazy either.
Yeah, and you realise so many other people have been through the same experiences as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you just like, shit. I'm the only one, and how did I let this happen? But the more you speak about it, the more you realise you're not the only one who's probably gone through that. So it's quite common, or and others just they help you realise how far you've come. How do you let go of things?
Yeah. What are things that you're
dump
trying
it in a journal?
Dump it in a journal.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the same thing as because once it's on the page, it's like
you've got it out.
You realise it's the
not
same
bottled up
reasons.
anymore.
Yeah, it's not bottled up. Yeah, and also time. Yeah.
There's no like definitive answer, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think over time you don't have a big epiphany. It's like smaller ones along the way.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like it was unfortunate that happened, and life could have gone a different way. But based off where I am now, I'm really happy because I was able to have that thing that made me appreciate this moment even more than I would have. Like if you have a standard of what makes you happy, then just living at that, just going along, just living at that standard for the rest of your life is just kind of like it's kind of a bit boring. Yeah. But if you have your downs, then it's just like
once you appreciate those ups.
Literally. Like once you get back up again, you're like, holy shit! Like I didn't appreciate that at the time, but like that was a good part of my life, and I'm moving forward.
Yeah, it's made me grow as a person.
Which is hard to see. Yeah, I think sometimes it is hard to see until even years after the time thing. But
some of these horrible experiences and stuff, the most empathetic and kind people you meet have often gone through the hardest things. And like if they hadn't, as horrible as it is, you don't have those experiences to grow from. And
even that guy, I think he recently passed, the Auschwitz survivor. He did a famous TED talk. He's like the happiest man in the world.
Really?
And he's just got such a positive, basically, his whole family was wiped out. He experienced, the worst of humanity, but he was just super happy and positive. And
going up to another quote, I think yesterday, his quote was, "I'm the luckiest guy in Australia." And I mean, that's incredible.
That's, if only we could all kind of have that. Shout out to him. Come on, in front of everyone. If only we could all have that kind of perspective. Like, it's possible.
It is.
We can all work for that.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have to have like a bad experience to appreciate like the good ones. But I think sometimes, and that's what grounding is really important to do, to just realize, wow, like I'm so well off. Like I have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, I've got food on the table, I've got people that love me, I have people that I love.
But that's why it's just challenging because but then you recognise all those things, but still you're waking up days where just straight away feeling anxious.
This is another thing, because I know like how lucky I am and have such a great support network around me and stuff. So the days I am feeling really down, I start feeling guilty. I'm like, why am I feeling like this if I'm so lucky and in such a good position, where like a much better position than others? I'm like, I start saying, no, these feelings, like I shouldn't be feeling like this, and I start feeling guilty that I'm feeling depressed or that sort of thing when I'm in like a privileged position compared to others. Then again, you gotta it's a mental illness, or it's not you being not grateful for things and stuff. It's
the grass is always greener, right? Like you could be the most, born into the most privileged family in the world, but you'd still be having problems. And obviously, when they're compared to other people, it's going to be like,
but that's the thing, you can't compare them to others.
Yeah, it's different.
Like, that's it, you can't. It's entirely subjective. No one's lived your life, no one has any idea about your life. And you can try to weigh, it's like, that's the biggest thing. You're trying to weigh subjective things objectively, and it just doesn't work. It's like it's like every year the Triple J Honours 100 countdown. People are pissed off because guess what? You've got such subjective feelings about music, and they're trying to rate them objectively in a list. It's like well, no shit, it's never going to work out.
It's never going to work out. You got people who want to do it for the meme because they want to do it.
And that's just so dangerous, comparing it to others. You're like, you shouldn't be feeling like this. They have it so much worse off and stuff. But this again, it ties into the eating disorders when you're like, shit, I shouldn't be feeling bad. Look how she's struggling with her weight. Look how skinny she actually is. Like I've still got, like my body's not going to shut down or whatever. Like she deserves the hospital bed. I still look okay, I look healthy, comparing it to them, and you're like, validating how you are.
Yourself. I try to think about it like this. the standard of what makes me break and what tears me down is as valid as what makes someone who's in a less fortunate situation than me, like financially, socioeconomically. It's as valid as their whatever makes them break. Because if I struggled, if we grew up and didn't have the privilege that we had and didn't have the money that we had and just a roof over our heads and everything, I'd be in a place now where I think I'd be more grateful, and I wouldn't be as comparing myself to others, because I've already been at like the like as low as you can get. But you know, your standard of what makes you break is totally the exact same as anyone else's. That's like that's what I try to make it.
Yeah. You just gotta tell yourself that it is valid, but you can still at the same time recognize that you are very privileged and you're able to go get help if you need and stuff.
Yeah.
So recognize it, but then don't invalidate how you're feeling because someone might have it worse than you.
It is a fine line, isn't it? Yeah. It's like you could get it's almost like quick comfort by comparing, but then it can send you on a
kind of guilt trip.
On a complete guilt trip.
I find it interesting with music artists who a lot of the time give a lot of themselves, and they reach into themselves and talk about a lot from themselves, their insecurities, their regrets, and their failures and stuff like that. And they portray that through their music, and then that's what makes people connect. And then labels aren't offering mental help for them because the sad stuff and the more emotional stuff is what sells. It's like it's a bit more like but then when they're feeling happy and they're making different music and they're feeling more happy, people kind of want them, we want the old you or something like that. That's even just similar to how you are. Any I don't say regular because we're all the same, but like any person who isn't in like a place of who isn't like a big artist, like
my legion of fans of like my previous work.
You fell off.
I fell off. Comeback story. You can even Shameless podcast.
Shameless. Shut up. I thought it said shut up. Not saying shut up. Shut up. So like even times when you feel guilty for feeling sad because someone else is in a worse off situation, it can be flipped. You can feel guilty for feeling happy. Oh, this is a weird feeling. This is a weird feeling. I don't know this.
Do I deserve
Should I deserve this? Yeah. How long is it
that's
gonna
bad.
last?
I don't deserve this, or
how long is it gonna last? Like
do you get that feeling a lot when things are going really well? I'm like, shit, I start getting so anxious. I'm like, something bad's gonna happen soon. I can't be this happy.
So it's like the sentence.
You can't just enjoy it because you're waiting for something bad to happen. Like, things shouldn't be going this well. You just wait for something to go wrong.
Waiting for something to go wrong.
Instead of just enjoying how good things could be at the moment.
Yeah.
So you wait to get to that point, and then when you get there, you're like waiting for things to go bad again.
Yeah. And then you're like getting to the bad point, you're like, waiting for things to get better.
Yeah,
when things to get better, I'll be okay.
Maybe that's a new strategy, just again.
Yeah.
You just got to, just...
Bullshit.
Well, I had for a while at work, I got into the rhythm of thinking, okay, Monday is probably going to be a bad day, Tuesday is going to be a good day, Wednesday is going to be a bad day, Thursday's going to be a good day. I just got into the rhythm of thinking like, I don't know, just Monday I was like, this is fucking stupid. What are you doing?
Way to
think, mate. But obviously never spun out into anything bad, but it was, I don't know, I was going to have it for like a few months there, just going like, it's weird. But I would never think of it outside of a work context. Like I never get to Saturday and go, okay, were we on a bad day or a good day?
Yeah.
Because the weekend's supposed to be just good.
Yeah.
And then you can get to it and it can be shit, and then you don't feel replenished or refreshed, and then you get back into Monday
waiting for the next weekend.
Living for the weekend, which is something we all can get kind of trapped in.
It's definitely
just building up expectations all the time.
it does make you think, because we were talking about routines last podcast, and they're good, but also, but that's the thing, but then sometimes you're just living for the weekend. For the weekend. It's like, you just got to try to make every day a bit more, exciting or memorable. Like if you tweak the routine every day just slightly.
Yeah, I hate no routine. You love routine. I throw off like.
Even like walking back in the coffee shop, you're like, no, let's cross over here this time.
Different. I could do with a bit more routine, maybe. We need to meet halfway.
I think, we're definitely going to meet halfway. Yeah. Because that's it, because I'll find myself when I'm more anxious, it's probably at the end of like an unchanging routine. And that's when I'll have 1 week or 2.
Yeah.
And then I'll get myself back. But
or make sure you leave at this time every day for work. Whereas I'll leave it as late as I can, but I'm going to race myself to work. Let's make this fun. But then I get all stressed.
Oh, shit.
Shout out to New South Wales PD. But I could probably. But then at the same time, it's fun. But then I get all stressed out. I'm going to be late, or a bit of routine there, of just making sure it's on some time I can just get to work or refreshed and stuff.
I think do the best you can to add something, I guess, interesting into each day. Like if you always sit down for dinner while like watching something, or sit down for dinner at the dinner table, like maybe fuck around, cook something that can be eaten cold, and then just walk to a park and eat it there, something like that. Something certain changes.
Even cooking something different,
broaden your experience. I don't know.
Well, mate, I made sushi the other day. It was so good.
Sushi?
Oh, that's what I could go for now.
Something
in the fridge.
Yeah. Mate. Did you go to the one at Akami in Cronulla?
No, you made it.
I made it.
Oh, you made it? Oh, you made sushi. Oh.
I was actually.
That's the next level. That's my favourite food, I think.
I think because we ended the simple veggie rolls, but the avocado one tastes pretty similar, I reckon.
Yeah.
Cucumber one didn't. I don't know. What do you reckon?
Look, I just put it in so much soy sauce, I can't tell what's in there. Tastes the same. The salmon probably I just taste
too much wasabi.
Yeah.
Wasabi.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry now.
It's just a vessel for soy sauce. That's all it is. Because it would look weird drinking soy sauce. You don't have it with some, rice or something else.
Yeah, 100%.
Me and Maddie went to that all-you-can-eat place in Cronulla, Okami. Best ever had. Shout out.
Where is that one?
Shout out. It's on the main.
Is that Giraffe?
It's on the main street. You know where Porto's is?
Oh yeah.
It's on that kind of like the main street that goes to, I think it's the Lura Road.
Yes. Oh, not in the mall.
Or Doral. No, it's not on the mall. It's on like one of the main streets.
It's on the other side of Blackwood. Pantry.
I think so. Yeah. On the other side.
Pokeball place.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All you can eat.
All you can eat for $36.80. Like, go.
Wow. Do they do a lot of veggie stuff?
Yeah, there's a bunch of veggie stuff.
Yeah.
There's especially veggie like alternatives for stuff. How are we talking about sushi right now? I don't know. But what I wanted to say is something funny. They brought out like a sushi and sashimi platter, and I was like, fuck yeah. And then I didn't realize that one of the sushi rolls had fallen into the wasabi. I picked it up, didn't see the green stuff on the bottom of it, dipped it in the soy sauce, had a scoff. Oh my god. I was dying. I was fucking dying.
Okay, while we're on food,
Yeah.
this is something I've never asked you. So you know how much your gut health is related to your mental health?
Yes, 95%.
You should interview your mom on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoga,
Don't take
Yeah.
food, but
vitamins.
But with the gut health, has going vegetarian, has that had an effect on your mental health, you reckon?
It's a good question. I don't think it's almost like when the GP said when I was going to go get the blood test, he said, look, if you're feeling different, get one. It's like you still get one, but I would say listen to your body, which is probably a slightly different tack than most GPs take. Just shout out whatever GP it was, I forget.
Yeah.
But
Memorable.
memorable. Yeah, good on you. But I think it was applicable here. I don't think it changed. So yeah, I mean, which is probably good.
You were pretty balanced.
Yeah, I just said it was probably alright to begin. What about you? I know you're farting.
Edit that
Hey,
Shout out to trees. I don't know about being vegetarian specifically, but you can definitely feel the effects on it with your diet.
Yeah.
How you feel when you eating shit and a lot of sugar and stuff, your anxiety spikes.
Yeah.
So you can feel it straight away that what effect it has on you.
Coffee, like you have a lot of coffee, but even you cut back.
I think so. I think it's the sugar for me that's a bit of a challenge a little bit.
I can always see, I already hear what Mum was saying. She'd probably like cut out the coffee entirely for vitamin C. But I don't know. There's also benefits, but
keep it balanced. My coffee is that's a little something I look forward to every morning.
Yeah.
So.
But it might be one of those things, like, because I know Mum's going undertaking that big fix your gut thing.
Oh mate, she's going.
But like, when she fixes her gut,
So
I don't know.
So many vitamins in that cupboard.
Yeah, good on her. But,
I mean, even but it's like one thing I would take away from some of the one argument that anti-vaxxers make, and it's like, which is probably a much bigger thing to do with general societal health, but it's like, I think we eat pretty well. I think the whole fam does, your family and stuff, but but even our guts, like even Mum's gut was, she needed to basically repair it or something, like you must think that if she is repairing her gut, how bad are some other people's, how much is that affecting not just their physical health but their mental health.
I think it's huge.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that well known of what an effect it actually has on it.
People, like you'll say, eat healthy, blah, blah, and you feel good.
Yeah, but that's, they think that's to do with physically, like how they feel physically and stuff, but you don't realise, what an effect it has on you mentally. I don't think that's well known enough.
There's a figure, it's like 90 or 95% of your serotonin comes from your gut. Like that's enough. Yeah,
wow,
that's enough.
Really?
It should be enough for people to be like, alright, well I'll eat a bit better, but it's
that's it, no one knows this. I don't know that. I know that.
I think it's starting to come, it's almost like, how mental health has finally had its time in the sun. I think, the gut is coming to the coming to the forefront. Yeah. Because it's definitely not cool. I saw that on TV the other day, it's like Metamucil, heal your gut. Because gut health is good for, and I thought, okay, there you go. It's, if they're selling heaps of mainstream products now with the focus on the gut, then it must be coming into the foray.
Yeah, Mum would be interesting because she's always eating well, but she's taken it to the next level. Yeah, she's got really trying to help, and I think part of it is because with Nan. And Nan was like super healthy her whole life, which pisses me off. And she got Alzheimer's, and she's completely dead to the world at the moment. Like can't register anything. Has regressed to like a infant stage. And so she eats so well, and that's like, and so she still gets it.
That's what bloody sucks. You can be the healthiest person, and you can still you can still have these illnesses. But you're right. You're not doing as much as you can to prevent it. You never know, you could still get it being so healthy. You could do everything and still get it, but if
it's
you
also
can
your
do
quality
something
of
to
life
prevent
the whole way through. Like I say, if you eat well, you feel better.
It's not just preventing something, it's just
it's the whole thing. For her 70 years, Nana was fit as a fiddle. Until she got this crap disease, but it's but imagine if she ate like shit and was, definitely wouldn't have squeezed out as much of life as she would have if so that's it. There's no reason not to eat it. It's not like people are like, oh, we might as well smoke and party all the time. No.
Same mindset. I'm gonna die anyway. Just do it, looking at the end.
Just before they walk into the Macca's. It's like, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna die.
Oh, that's me. It's
like 2
1 in the morning. Oh, fuck it.
I think it's okay. It's definitely okay to be like, oh, fuck it, like, I feel like...
you have to every now and then.
You have to.
You gotta treat yourself, obviously.
But But if you're doing it Monday to Friday, it's like
I'll shoot myself.
That's me and my online shopping. Oh, I deserve this. Oh, you know what? It's been a bad day. Oh, it's been a good day. I should reward myself.
There's always an opportunity.
Yeah, you got to do little things for yourself along the way.
Yeah.
You're always like, oh, what can I do for this person? It's like, nah, do something for yourself. And it doesn't have to be like a self-care, like, oh, I've got to put on a face mask or do this. Just do something small for yourself. Or take yourself out to dinner or something. Just go by yourself. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Well, even Ash's friend, she was saying, like, she's gotten so much better, I think, since her divorce of just living. Like she said, she's become so much more confident and, like, you know, she'll just take herself off to dinner.
It's so hard as well. It's so nice, yeah.
Or a movie or whatever. You know.
When you can take yourself out without having to go on your phone or something, just that sense that's enjoying your own company. Or not enjoying, but just
deserving.
Yeah, you can just take yourself out and you don't have to be with someone all the time. That was my goal for a while, just to be able to just go and sit down and have a coffee without having to take a laptop or a phone or having something to do. Just go and sit there by myself and
being okay
with my own company.
With being alone,
mindfulness. Oh yeah, well, it's what I'd say. It's pretty much the same thing as being grounded, right? Sticking your feet on the floor and hands down and just concentrate on one thing you're doing. Yeah, being present, yes.
Yeah, that's present. Present is the present. Right.
Being present is the present.
Yeah, that's a bar.
You've heard it. You've heard it first.
Is that on something 69?
Haha, that's the sex number. It's good. No, it's still on there.
Yeah.
But yes, actually, it's funny that they like the cover photo is like, let's get the 69 420 work week, 69 hours, 4 days on, or like something like that. 4 days and then 20 hours of work. So 4 days, 20 hours of work, and then
what the fuck is this page?
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Link it in the show notes.
Yeah. I will put in these. It's so funny. It's a reminder to be immature. Like, you don't have to grow up. Entirely. Like you can be different. You can be. You don't have to be boring.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know we're approaching 30, but like I don't know. Like talking to because it's probably made me realise a bit closer. Like I still don't feel like 26. I feel like I finally crossed the 20 threshold.
Even with the mortgage?
Even with the mortgage, yeah.
Yes.
I 100% agree. But that's it. But I must be thinking, like, mum and dad must be thinking, like, fuck this, I'm 25.
Yeah.
I think like any parent's midlife crisis, they're like, fuck, I want to be 25 again. I'm just going to assume I am.
I've definitely found, I don't know, as I get older, be more empathetic to, I don't know, my mum and dad. Well, I don't know, like, you know, the quirks they have or what they've said before, and you're like, mate, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, like, until you hit a particular age or something like that.
But again, it's good having, like, you want to have all these deeper conversations with your friends and stuff, but you just got to sometimes just have those stupid conversations.
You need to.
Well, you can't always be serious about that.
I guess, you got to, it's important to have these, but sometimes you just got to...
Life ain't that serious.
That's it. Take yourself less seriously.
Just about like what mum and dad will be saying, and whether it kind of hits later on, where it hits in the moment. I remember I made a decision to defer from uni, and I was pretty emotional about it. Like I told everyone, and like in the family, and like they were understanding. But then they were like, well, you got to do something. Like you gotta work. And like, it was a bit of a shock because I'm like, okay, I know that. But like, it was a bit of a shock to be like, okay, well, if you're not studying, you need to do this. And like, but looking back, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, if I didn't go out the next day and get myself another job, like I was working 2 jobs straight after that. If I didn't go out and go get that other job, I might be in a different position than I am now. Like, so sometimes the advice can be hard to hear at the time, but then you realize that's part of like their instructions on how you can be an adult. Like, but you think they're being too hard on you. It's hard to decipher.
I mean, even that though, like, there's probably some wiggle room to say, look, go to Bollywood, do some training or something, but you know, by the time you're back, get busy.
Yeah, get busy. Yeah.
See, I had the opposite advice from my parents. I was, since school all the way out, I was just like, go.
Yeah, right.
And when I had a break when we immigrated, between starting my new degree, and I was like, what do I do? And it was a new country, and they're like, you know what, just try and do nothing, to take a bit of time, work on yourself, do some things, use this time to just do some things you love before you get back into it and just go again. Yeah. So I don't know how to stop and just do things. So they're like, you know what, use that bit of time to just do some of the things you love while you got the chance. As soon as once you have your full-time job and stuff, you don't have that time again. So yeah, depends on the person, but yeah.
What did you do? Swim? Beach every day?
Yeah, I explored a bit. I mean, it was a new city and stuff, so I try to get familiar with some places and just try. Well, that's the hardest part about leaving. You don't have that familiarity. I think that's what people miss when they immigrate and stuff. It's just knowing. So, just try to like find some places, make like little places special. Like I'd go to a little coffee place and try not make a relationship, but sort of find like a little comfort in different places. And now I'm so glad I did that, because now I'm still working in Bandar Junction. Yeah. And if it's a tough day or something, I'll just walk down to that little cafe, and I'm like, oh, this is where I came with Mom, and I've got little good memories associated with that place. So I did a lot of that, and I did surf lessons. I went to one, and then that went out the window. But I had good intentions to do some of those things.
100%.
Yeah.
Can still be done.
Can still be done. Bit of shopping. Just.
We sort of had a mini one like that though at the end of was it Boxing Day?
Yeah, Boxing Day.
Yeah, because it was like obviously Christmas Day's go, and I don't think we hadn't taken leave for a substantial amount for a while. And you should have seen us, mate, in the apartment. Like it took us maybe.
We didn't know how to do nothing.
We were like, what the fuck? Yeah. What do we do?
We can't even just sit down and watch a movie. We were just sitting there.
Yeah, usually I can't
go for a walk. What do we didn't know how to do nothing.
But luckily it sort of got there. Like I think it got there pretty quickly. Like we were able to. Well, for me anyway. I don't know. Well, like after that day, it was like, oh, okay, now I can do nothing. Yeah. Oh, I think cricket was on too, and that helped me. I was like, yes, I was just do cricket.
But it's hard to do nothing. But you got to stop it. I think, if you're doing nothing, sometimes pick up our phones and you might just scroll just to use the time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We try to pull ourselves out on that a bit now.
Yeah, Taryn always does.
I mentioned this in the other one, but like if you go through screen time in the settings, you can set a limit for social stuff. So all social apps, and then I include YouTube in it, I'm only allowed an hour a day.
Matt's in his Reddit. He's put a restriction on it.
Also, it's tough. Well, the good thing is actually, on the work laptop, it's, for whatever reason, just can't be accessed. Like it's not a file or blog, it's something else. So which is good, because I'd usually, when I was kicking around or procrastinating at work, I'd just go, I swear Reddit. Yeah. Which is also, oh my god, there's good things, but it's like the...
Go down a hole, it's like YouTube.
Yeah. At least YouTube, I think, depending on the recommendations, the algorithm, I mostly get like, cooking videos or, I don't know, sporting highlights, like Leo Varadkar or something. Leo Varadkar. But then, I don't know, and I suppose it goes back to the kind to yourself thing, but I'll kick myself sometimes doing that. I do nothing and go, man, I should be like writing or something. It's perfect time to write. Why don't I write?
It's a weird trap.
It's like writing.
Yeah, but you don't always have to be doing that, and don't do it for the sake of it, because then it becomes like a chore and you don't enjoy doing it when you get a chance to.
Yeah. Well, even you were saying, it took you a while to get excited to do this series again.
Bloody hell. It's so frustrating.
But you said, well, I won't do anything until I feel excited again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I even wrote something where I was recently, and what was it? I was like talking to Peter, my therapist, my mentor, and I was in a rut because I was just like, oh, I haven't done this part of the piece in ages. It's been like nearly 2 years or 1.5 years. And like, at that point I started to think, oh, I don't do this anymore. But I'm like, no, because at the start I wanted to do it and I had a clear vision of why I wanted to do it. But I just kind of got lost in the way.
Oh.
It's fucking annoying. And then I guess doing the one that we did the other day, I'm like, fuck yeah.
Got excited.
So excited.
Yeah.
That you just gotta, in my head, my idea of it is that like, oh, I film every week or one season every year.
Yeah.
But it's not.
You don't have
it's not
to.
applicable.
Yeah, you can do it
It's
when you feel like it.
not practical.
You don't have to force yourself, and then
No.
Yeah, because it would be shit if I did it a couple of months back
Yeah.
and I'm trying to make it look exactly like this or that. Like, you know, and just trust
Yeah.
and
It goes back to that self-care and the routine.
You just gotta listen to what you feel like sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I used to absolutely love running. I used it as like a stress reliever and stuff. Then I started using it as a way to punish myself.
Really?
Like if I ate too much or something, I'd use it as a punishment, and I started absolutely hating it. So now I won't run unless I really feel like it.
Yeah, or it's like associated with sport.
Or associated with sport, but I'm like, because I forced myself, I started actually hating it. And now, the only time I'll do it is if I feel like it, not because I want to get fitter or that. It's just like, I feel like going for a run.
That's huge with exercise and staying fit. Like, you got to do it because I feel like doing it, not because this or that. Like, what I've realized over the years, I've tried to like do training schedules and try to this and that. But one that's really working for me lately is just I wrote a list of these are all the exercises that I like to do or that I can do during a week. You know, like there's bike, swim, there's run, there's footy, there's basketball. There's all sorts of things, and I'm just like, whatever I'm feeling on that day, I'll just do. And I cover running by going to AFL training. I cover running by going to basketball or cardio, whatever. But instead of just being like, okay, the day has to be a weight room day or this day, like just trying to build a bit of leeway. Try to build a bit of training that you're like, I want to do that.
Yeah, and if you miss it because you're feeling too tired or your body wasn't, then just say, oh, it's okay. You haven't stuffed up the week in the plan. Just do it when you can.
Yeah.
And in those moments, I just go. I feel like I'm more comfortable just going for a walk, and that feels that's some sort of exercise.
That's it. And you're not just putting strain on your body.
It's not bad. It's like just try not exercise is so hard because like you want to hit certain levels, but like just try to build a training regime that's like not so this day is this, doing this and this. Just be like, whatever I feel like, I'm gonna do what I actually want to do, and I'm gonna set a goal. If I get it, sweet. If I don't, like, just do something.
I have to be careful with my exercise because that was a large part of the eating disorder. It wasn't just restricting, I'd over exercise to the point where I'd faint. I'd just overdo it. So now I have to be careful once I start doing it on my own, I can sometimes get a bit carried away. So I try to stick to like team sports and that sort of thing where I enjoy it, but I don't take it overboard. And I've always just loved sports. So I've gotten back to that, and then it's easy. You don't use it as a form of punishment. You just do it because you genuinely enjoy it.
If you like people and competition, and also you're a competitive, so you love
I've noticed that. I like it. That's so good.
Oh, don't tell Courtney that she won't play board games with me anymore. It's Scott.
I won't play board games.
I have to play Mario Kart.
Game's rigged.
Game's rigged?
That game is rigged.
He
gets in my mind. I'll be winning, and then he's like, oh, Tubbs, come let's play. And then he just throws me off. He's the one person I will not lose to. I get competitive. You just walk around with this air if you're feeling me.
I'm just a gamer.
Yeah,
it's just natural.
He's a gamer. He used to play Halo too. Like that's
exactly. Maybe first-person shooters.
He literally defeated the elite. No,
the elite. Who's the
elite? You think Mario can't do it? Who's the elite?
Not the elite.
The elites.
The Covenant. The Covenant. Yeah.
covenant.
He literally defeated the covenant.
Is that like the leader?
There's like an alien races that united, and they're like one. They were centered around one religion.
Yeah.
About the rings and igniting the rings.
Sounds good.
Anyone else who knows?
Try
They fucking know.
Yeah, anyone who's watching knows it's a.
Maybe that should be your. That should be your podcast theme. I wonder how much that would cost. Halo theme song. Is your intro song.
Yeah.
I record my own version. Just got the boys.
Yeah.
Taylor's version.
Everything is.
Shout out to Maddie.
Shout out to Maddie. Maybe I name this.
Shout out to
Taryn's version.
Taryn's version.
Yeah.
It's yeah, we still think you should put in the ads. Like, you know.
Or whoever we
just
sponsor.
Just a message from our sponsors.
Yeah.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
Get some.
Let's get it.
Just
like to thank today's sponsor.
Yeah.
And back to the episode.
Yeah. Oh, we love you. Whoever you are out there, we love you. From the We Love Company.
From the We Love.
Hey.
Oh, he's proud of that one.
Today's sponsor is McDonald's. Yes, anyway, I've found that eating good is really good. Yeah. I always find out with some YouTube videos, some are able to translate it to what the video is about, but sometimes they have like a sponsor that is so left field for the video is about.
Oh, I know.
It's so
Or
funny.
you get some furniture ones on like, on
Oh,
I don't know, pop culture.
Mattresses and
pop
stuff.
culture podcast or something. You normally like you'll get your beauty ones or something. But you get like these furniture companies out of nowhere. These thank them for these beautiful chairs we're sitting on today.
Good relate.
I'm sure our listeners can't wait to get their hands on it.
Well, have you guys heard of SeatGeek?
SeatGeek.
They're not a sponsor, by the way. I was about to transition to a sponsor. They're like a ticketing app. And this one YouTuber I watched, Cody Ko, he did a really cool transition into it. He's like, before we start, I gotta change my chair. He's like, the person with him, he's like, man, you're always going on about chairs. You're a chair nerd. And he's like, no, I'm a seat geek.
No. Yeah, but they stick with you. Those cringe ones work sometimes.
Yeah.
So good. So good. See, that's where life can't be taken so seriously.
Yeah.
Just I don't know, be innocent, be dumb, say whatever you feel. There's no level of maturity that can withstand a joke.
Last thing you know what you should get? Came prepared. This little fella.
Hey.
When you don't feel like speaking about it, or if something's wrong, I'll come out and
for those
put that over and
podcasts,
Matt's like, okay.
it's an octopus that you can flip
That's
sides
nice.
It's very cool. I mean, having a good day,
on.
all good.
We were hovering about halfway for a while there.
Especially when you live with roommates and sometimes you don't want to project it onto them, but pop this thing out and they're like, okay, it's not me. Sometimes you take it personally, like, shit, are they ignoring me? Whatever.
Yeah.
This little guy, I
could get that for kids in the classroom.
that's a good idea.
Just to describe how
That's
they
a
feel.
good idea.
Just so everyone, so at least I know that they're not in a place where they, can learn at that moment or.
And it's hard to talk
in
about
that way.
sometimes.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to bring it up, and it's such a good way to just.
No, it's nice. Yeah, it's a good representation.
Half the beach. Peach merch.
Half the piece.
Half
Half
the
the
peach.
Half the piece merch.
Yeah, you should get some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Peace.
I love something like I love something like that, something like a stress ball or a lot of people need a poppet. Have you heard those things?
I've got something in my drawers at work.
Yeah, constantly needing to touch something. But that's a really cool thing to get out your kind of your fidgety self, but you can still stay a bit
I never think of using a stress ball though. Maybe I should put it on the desk, but I never think of going I'm stressed. Where's my stress ball?
Yeah, but it's not
probably
necessarily
just
just for stress. It's when you want to fidget or something.
It's just it tops the board out there.
I like it if I'm editing something and I just bring it out and I stress it and I I have one hand and I'm just like throwing it up and like, I don't know, throwing it against the wall and I'm still editing something and then while waiting for load, I just like throw it up. It's way better than me going straight onto my phone. I've noticed I have a tendency to do it as soon as like something's loading or I can't do anything in the moment, I just go straight to the phone. Like that's not good for me.
Yeah, or you get distracted and then forget about the video and
notifications and turn them all off except messages and chuck the phone in the other room.
Yeah.
This is why you don't answer.
This is why
phone's in another room.
It should be on there. But yeah, I reckon that's helped so much. Because I know, I see some phones now, it's like ding 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 ding. I'm like, oh my god, I remember when I used to have that. I'm like, no more. It's just incessant.
I mean, for uni, it's just so excessive. Like we have primary teaching chats. There's
the group chat.
Bro, I have because I started halfway through 2020. I'm part of the group that started in 2020 in that group chat, but I'm also part of the group that started in 2021. So I'm in 2 different group chats. And then there's another one for our specialization for religion. There's another one for another subject entirely. It's just like...
And then all the little projects is within those and the little groups within those subjects.
Splinter off.
That many group chats. And then like someone would be saying something about a subject, I'm like, bullshit. And then I realise they're talking about a subject I haven't done yet and I don't need to worry about it. Like, it's all good. So notifications, in conclusion, notifications, you need to monitor them or just...
burn your phone.
Because you can just constantly just like, something pops up, let me have a look, blah, 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 and then you forget why you looked in the first place. It was just a habit to look straight at. You know?
Stupid.
No, you can come in.
Thank you. I did text everyone to be like, can I come in?
We've all turned off the notifications.
She keeps that on there.
No, let's keep it on there. That was Courtney, by the way.
Shout out.
Shout out, Courtney.
There you go.
Yeah, there she is.
Shout out.
And the balls, do your dance, do your thing.
Shout out.
Shout out to Perk. Actually, no. Fuck you, Mike. Knock him down.
Non-shout out to...
We hate Mark
We hate. Alright. We have so many non-shout outs this episode.
That's another title. Maybe what about non-shout outs? Taryn version.
Yeah, we go.
There you go, done. There's a name.
Music. Is there anything that you really that connects with you and that helps you calm down?
Not violence.
Not violence.
The opposite of what Matt listens to.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, mine's
like lo-fi or like indie.
Mine's indie rock.
Indie rock. Yeah.
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks.
Actually.
Big fan.
Stevie Nicks. Big fan.
Big fan.
Giant post on the wall behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, her older stuff. Yeah, I'm definitely older stuff or indie rock.
Yeah.
I can't stand the stuff.
It's more nuanced than that.
You just don't understand it. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
No, I like just the calming stuff, not like classical shit, but I've never been like a crazy music fan. I like more
Fleetwood Mac, you're a big fan of.
big Fleetwood Mac fan, but
everything's on
I've never
Fleetwood and everything else.
I've never turned to music as much. I feel like I've always turned to like sports and stuff. But I never really turned to music much.
Okay. Yeah. I always like turn to it, and sometimes I listen to stuff that's just like maybe is a bit counterintuitive to counteractive to what I need to be feeling at that time. Like I was like something like sad or something like that. But like sometimes I just like honestly feel like listening to it and engaging in that emotion. Yeah. And then sometimes happy songs are just like, no, I don't feel it. But when I do feel it, it's like, oh mate, it carries along the day like so well. So just depends.
That's true though, when you're having a really bad day, I've done the same. Just put on a really sad song.
Yeah.
Just cry, let yourself feel that.
Yeah.
Look out of the window.
Yeah.
Let the rain come out the window.
Yeah.
Send you in a movie.
Send you in a music.
It does help sometimes.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. To assume to feel exactly what you're feeling, and then you can just like move on. Like I like creating certain playlists where there's a progression of going from sad and then moving into happy. because like you can feel those certain emotions as you're
No,
listening.
and
then you can
Like
see
that.
you can as it gets on, you can see that there's growth, there's insight, there's revelations to whatever the person's talking about, whether it be like talking about a relationship, like a breakup, and then moving into something else, or like mental health, like starting in a shit time and learning lessons and moving into a better time. I like playlists like that and like albums like that because like it feels genuine when they talk, when they reach parts of you that you didn't really know.
That's me on podcasts.
Yeah. I'm not a big podcast guy. I don't know why.
I never used to be, but with the commute now, I've run out of music. I'm sick of my own music.
You gotta go to music discovery.
I do need to, but I've turned to a lot of podcasts and it just makes it time. Makes it time. Really cool.
Harvard Rundown. That's my other podcast.
Harvard Rundown. I know nothing about basketball. I try to listen to what I did. That's like, what the fuck?
Straight over.
And they're not all these hectic ones. A lot of them are just pop culture. It's like a quick escape and.
Oh yeah, like
that's what I enjoy watching. It's like those mind-numbing reality TV things. Love Island. Too Hot to Handle. I love it.
Too Hot to Handle.
Before night because my brain switches off. Probably lose brain cells, but it's I just love those. It's like quick escapes from reality sometimes. And, I love them. It's just like mind-numbing, easy to watch.
I always get triggered by the Love Island music. I'm like,
takes you back to lockdown.
Yeah.
We have binged every possible.
And like every season, we're gonna get back. We're gonna find another show we can watch together. No, Afterlife, but also, I don't know. I miss our True Detective days. Even though it was Depresso, it was
it was Matthew McConaughey's peak.
Peak physical form. And Woody Harrelson. Everyone always forgets Woody.
Damn. Well, it's been a very good talk. I really enjoyed it. Any last thing that you want to say to anyone in a similar situation who can kind of relate to what you've been through and what you're like going through? Anything that kind of comes to mind.
Be easy on yourself. I know it's hard. You feel like you're alone and everything, but there's so many people going through a similar thing. Find someone you really trust, and try open up to them. Like we mentioned earlier, they don't have to come with solutions and stuff, but just if you can just try. First step is just try to find someone you trust and go to them. And just be easy on yourself. It's not your fault. That certain things happen, and and just know that there's help out there, and things are going to get better.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to end it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you both of you.
No worries.
For coming on. It is a weird. It's an odd thing to do, to just sit and like talk in like this setting, but you can kind of just like let loose, and really appreciate you guys doing this.
Thanks for having us on.
Of course, and I'm happy to have you guys on for future ones. As you learn more, as you progress, and as certain like mini epiphanies come, as you get better with everything.
See you next time.
Thank you everyone for watching. Have a good day.